Vim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Ashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, Transcendental Knowledge, text 11. So Krishna told Arjuna about why he appears and what happens if somebody knows his appearance and his pastimes and truth. And he said, many people in the past, they have taken shelter of me and they've been liberated. So further he talks about taking shelter. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tans tathaiva bhajamyaham mam vartma anuvartante manushya partha sarvasha. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. So as all surrender unto me. Now, it's not like in the previous verse, he said, yes, many people have surrendered and they've been liberated. They've all attained transcendental love for me. But the way we surrender, Krishna responds accordingly. If somebody wants money from Krishna, Krishna can give money. If somebody wants good position, okay, I worship you, I surrender, but I have some material desires, Krishna can fulfill those. And if somebody wants just surrender, just service, Krishna can reward that also. Although in the translation, the word bhajami is translated as reward. Yes, in Sanskrit dictionary, many words have many meanings. But bhajami also means worship, bhajan. So Krishna himself gets so grateful to a person, to a devotee that surrenders unto him, that he worships not like doing arti, but worships in his heart out of love. This is how reciprocative Krishna is. It is lacking is on our part, not on Krishna's part. We don't want to surrender. That's where the problem is. But here also is, as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. But everyone follows my path in all respects. What does that mean? I mean, if somebody is not surrendering, somebody is an atheist, how can that be following Krishna's path? Well, whatever one's desire, Krishna fulfills that. Even if our desire is not to serve him, not to even believe in him, well, Krishna says, okay, it's up to you. I'll fulfill that. But you go through your thing accordingly then. Okay, in purport, Prabhupada writes, everyone is searching for Krishna in the different aspects of his manifestations. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is partially realized in his impersonal Brahmjyoti effulgence and as the all-pervading Supersoul dwelling within everything, including the particles of atoms. But Krishna is fully realized only by his pure devotees. So Krishna is fully realized only by his pure devotees. Now, even Krishna, here there are two aspects Prabhupada mentions, Brahmjyoti and Paramatma. They are aspects of Krishna only. They are not independent. They come from expansions or aspects of Krishna. But it's not complete. Krishna himself is fully complete. But even Krishna himself, there is Dwarka Krishna, there is Mathura Krishna, and there is Vrindavan Krishna. Krishna is same, but his mood is different in Dwarka, in Mathura, and in Vrindavan. So Dwarka Krishna is also complete. Mathura Krishna is more complete. Vrindavan Krishna is absolutely complete because of his mood. So his devotees also. Those who are in Vrindavan mood, their mood of love, their mood of the different rasa with Krishna is completely different from devotees of Dwarka or devotees of Mathura. But Krishna deals with everybody as they surrender unto him, as they love him, so he reciprocates accordingly. Consequently, Krishna is the object of everyone's realization, and thus anyone and everyone is satisfied according to one's desire to have him. In the transcendental world also, Krishna reciprocates with his pure devotees in the transcendental attitude, just as the devotee wants him. One devotee may want Krishna as a supreme master, another as his personal friend, another as his son, and still another as his lover. So Krishna rewards all the devotees equally according to their different intensities of love for him. In the material world, the same reciprocations of feelings are there, and they are equally exchanged by the Lord with the different types of worshippers. Pure devotees, both here and in the transcendental abode, associate with him in person and are able to render personal service to the Lord and thus derive transcendental bliss in his loving service. As for those who are impersonalists and who want to commit spiritual suicide by annihilating the individual existence of the living entity, Krishna helps also by absorbing them into his effulgence. His effulgence. Brahmjyoti is also his effulgence. So somebody wants to go to Brahmjyoti, Krishna helps him. Such impersonalists do not agree to accept the eternal, blissful personality of Godhead. Consequently, they cannot relish the bliss of transcendental personal service to the Lord, having extinguished their individuality. So in Brahmjyoti, the limited Anand is there. The Anand there is that there are no material miseries, but the transcendental bliss of personal service to the Lord is missing. So that they cannot have, but it's their desire. So Krishna helps them. Some of them who are not firmly situated, even in the impersonal existence, return to this material field to exhibit their dormant desires for activities, because soul itself wants to do activity. Just like in the material world, when we are in this material body, we are never inactive. We always want to do something. And we means the soul. The body is just a vehicle for the soul. So if in material world, in a conditioned state, we are so active, so how can we become inactive when we are liberated? Activities should be there, but in Brahmjyoti, there is nothing to do. What to do? So the dormant desire for activities are there, and then these souls who are not firmly situated, even in impersonal experience, they return back. The Prabhupada said they are not admitted into the spiritual planets because they cannot go above. They haven't tasted that bliss, that relationship yet. So they cannot go above. So they have to come down. But they are again given a chance to act on the material planets. Of course, they don't. It depends on the desire. Chances are they will not come back to Earth to take birth here. They'll go to higher planets because they have already purified their consciousness to a very high level. For those who are fruitive workers mean that I work, I get my fruits, get my karma phala. The Lord awards the desired results of the prescribed duties as a Yajneshwara. And those who are yogis seeking mystic powers are rewarded such powers. In other words, everyone is dependent for success upon his mercy alone, and all kinds of spiritual processes are but different degrees of success on the same path. So everyone is dependent on him, on his mercy alone. Just like we did study about yogic powers. So yogic powers, even the yogis seek mystic powers. But how do they get those powers? They're given by Krishna himself. Not personally by Krishna, it could be Paramatma sitting in their heart awarding them powers, but Paramatma is also expansion of Krishna. So nothing anywhere we can get on our own, or anybody else can have. Fruitive work or karm kandis. Karm kandis do lots of yagyas or pujas to please different demigods. But Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, all the results that the demigods give, all the benedictions that demigods give, they actually come from me. The power, source of power is Krishna. Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. Demigods, they don't have their own power. They are there as the managers of different departments of the universe. The power comes from Krishna. Just like in a company, if there are the CEO is there, managing director is there, and then there are managers, HR manager, or technical manager, or this manager, that. So managers don't have their own power to give any raise or any facilities to any of the employees. It comes from CEO or the owner of the company. It comes from them. If managers start thinking, oh, because I'm at this position, I can do whatever I want, then he will be shown the door next day. They have to act responsibly. That's all. But the power comes from above. So any progress anybody makes in any way, all dependent on Krishna. So we don't realize it. That's a problem. Unless, therefore, one comes to the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, all attempts remain imperfect. So ultimately, it's coming back to Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, everything is imperfect. Whether we get mystic powers, whether we get some material powers, some material opulence, it's imperfect. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, akama sarva kama moksha kama dharati tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Whether one is without desire, the condition of the devotees, akama, they don't want anything, or is desirous of all fruitive results, sarva kama, or is after liberation, moksha kama. Whatever we want, one should with all efforts try to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead for complete perfection, culminating in Krishna. Tivrena bhakti yogena. So ultimately it's bhakti yoga, and to attain what? Yajeta purusham param. Culminating in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise everything is imperfect, incomplete. But even if it is imperfect, incomplete, if the living entity wants that, Krishna wants it. Because Krishna does not interfere with our independence. With our independence only, or free will only, when we surrender unto Him, when we want to love Him, that's what Krishna likes. And then He wants it. And the love can only happen when it comes from our heart. Krishna loves us all. We also love Him, but we have forgotten Him. We are after so many things in the material world. I want this, I want that. But Krishna lets us have those, or that depends upon our karmas. But He's still waiting for us to turn towards Him. That's the purpose of back home, back to Godhead. So we just have to turn towards Him, turn our consciousness towards Him. Then our activities, our thoughts, our words, everything will be turned towards Him. And that's a liberating condition. Okay, then Krishna further says, Kankshanta Karmanam siddhim yajanta I devata kshipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. Men in this world desire success in fruitive activities, and therefore they worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, men get results from fruitive work in this world. But remembering, everything comes from Krishna, not from demigods. But demigods are given that kind of power that, okay, if somebody wants something, fruitive results, temporary material results, you can give to some extent. There is a great misconception about the gods or demigods of this material world, and men of less intelligence, although passing as great scholars, take these demigods to be various forms of the Supreme Lord. So this is men of less intelligence, Prabhupada says. Just like every manager in the company is not owner of the company. Owner is only one. But if person working under that manager, he does some, we can say, buttering of that manager, he gets some better position or some more facilities, and he thinks this manager is all in all. No. So similarly, demigods, people generally what they say, "Are kisi ki puja karo, ek hi taraf ek hi jagah jana hai sabne." No. And then kisi ki bhi puja mein means they make up their own worshipable lords also. It just, I mean, like Prabhupada explained many times, if I take a train ticket to Calcutta, I'm not going to reach Bombay. I'm going to go to Calcutta. So if I worship demigods, I'll reach their place if I am perfect. And if I worship them properly. But if I do bhakti of Krishna properly, I reach his planet. Simple as that. But they are not all the same. So Bhagavatam we read, so many demigods, even Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, they're always worshipping Vishnu, always praying to Krishna. So if they're all same, why are they praying to themselves only, or somebody equal to them? No, they're not equal. Actually, the demigods are not different forms of God, but they are God's different parts and parcels. In universal form, Krishna shows all the demigods are situated in his body. But that doesn't mean all the demigods are equal to Krishna. He also showed all the human beings also. They are in his body, all the living entities. Brahmins come from that part, Kshatriyas come from his arms, Vaishyas from his waist, and Shudras from his leg. But that doesn't mean Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra are equal to Krishna. Big misconception. The Vedas say Nityo Nityana. God is one. Ishvara Paramaha Krishna. This is Brahmaji who said that. Ishvara Paramaha Krishna. The supreme God is one. That is Krishna. And the demigods are delegated with powers to manage this material world. Demigods are delegated with powers to manage this material world. Of course, if they're not equal to Krishna, that doesn't mean we are equal to them or they have they're very low. No, we have to respect them because they are the living entities who are qualified to be at that position, to be given those kind of powers. We don't have. And the powers are to manage the universal affairs on behalf of Krishna. It's not a small position, but at the same time, they're not Krishna, they're not God, they're not Bhagavan. So no way we should disrespect them. No way. These demigods are all living entities, Nityana, with different grades of material power. They cannot be equal to the Supreme God, Narayan, Vishnu, or Krishna. Anyone who thinks that God and the demigods are on the same level is called an atheist or Pashandi. Anyone who thinks that God and demigods are on the same level is called an atheist or Pashandi. And now if you go to Hindu temples, because there are so many temples, so many rich people, they have opened temples, and you see all sorts of Archa Vigraha over there, all on the same platform. Radha Krishna will be there, Sitaram will be there. Manji, if he is with Sitaram, Lakshmanji, that's great, but Manji can have his own temple. Lord Shiva his own, Durga ji, then Ganesh ji, then Navagraha are there in the same temple. The people don't understand what's the difference. And until we understand the difference, we are not going to be worshipping properly in the right consciousness. And how we are going to get out of this material world? We worship, or they worship Krishna as also a demigod, or Lakshmi Narayan also as a demigod. Demigod means in the sense that they want some material benedictions from them. That's all. But this is not what Krishna is. Krishna can award liberation. Krishna can take us back to the spiritual world. Nobody else can. They don't have that kind of power. Shivji is a very special position. He is a Param Vaishnava. He is a Vaishnava Acharya also. He has his own Sampradaya, Vaishnava Sampradaya. He has Mayavad Sampradaya also. As Shankaracharya he came. And he acts as a demigod also. He gives material benediction. Depends, whatever we want. But as Vaishnava, founder of Vaishnava Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, he's still not Krishna. He can take us closer to Krishna. It depends what do we want. He can take us very close to Krishna. Yes, he can put us in bhakti of Krishna. But generally, this is not what people approach Lord Shiva for. He is, at the same time, he is Ashutosh. He's been given these powers by Krishna himself. He's Ashutosh. He gets pleased very quickly. So people worship him, please him to get some material benedictions. But this is not the real Kripa of Shivaji. Real Kripa of Shivaji is somebody goes, please engage me in service of Krishna and please remove all these obstacles, obstructions from my path in service of Krishna. Shivaji can do that. We worship Ganesha for removal of obstacles, and Ganesha is son of Shivaji. Shivaji can easily remove all the obstacles. Maya is bothering us. She is wife of Shivaji, Durga ji. We take shelter of Shivaji, Maya can stop bothering us. But the goal should be to serve Krishna. Not that I want to live opulently, comfortably in the material world. That's never going to happen. The material world is not designed like that. Even if we have lots of money, which Shivji can give, but living comfortably is, in this world is not in his hands. Because Krishna has not designed this world where we can live comfortably. So huge difference between Krishna and demigods. Even the great demigods like Brahma and Shiva cannot be compared to the Supreme Lord. In fact, the Lord is worshipped by demigods such as Brahma and Shiva. Shiva Virenchi Nutam, Bhagavatam 11th canto. Yet, curiously enough, there are many human leaders who are worshipped by foolish men under the misunderstanding of anthropomorphism or zoomorphism. Now, what is this anthropomorphism? Let me get the exact meaning. The attribution of human characteristics of behavior to a god, animal, or object. That's a definition of anthropomorphism. Means we think God has become a human being. Just like in the case of Sai Baba. Sai Baba is a living entity. He's not a demigod. He's not Shiva. He's not Brahmaji. He's a living entity. Maybe he's performed some austerities and got some yogic powers. That's about it. But God has not become Sai Baba, so cannot worship Sai Baba as God. And so many people go to Sai Baba place in Maharashtra, wherever it is, and worship him. And they said their desires been fulfilled. Well, first of all, the desires get fulfilled by Krishna according to our karma, not by mercy of some Sai Baba. But people in Kali Yuga are in so much ignorance, so much of ignorance. They just cannot understand these things. And then Prabhupada used in the word zoomorphism. It's the same thing as a human, as an animal also. Sometimes people worship, oh, God has become animal. No, God doesn't become animal. Animal doesn't become God. God can come as human being, but he still remains in the same status as God. Krishna has explained it all here. Janma karma chamaya divyam. People don't understand his position when he comes in his human form. This is our lack. There's nothing lacking in Krishna. So many human leaders who are worshipped by foolish men under the misunderstanding of anthropomorphism or zoomorphism. Iha Devata denotes a powerful man or demigod of this material world. But Narayan, Vishnu, or Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, does not belong to this world. He is above or transcendental to material creation. Transcendental to material creation. Because in Bhagavatam we studied the material creation. Even before it is manifested, Krishna, Vishnu was there. When it is manifested, he is there and he enters the material creation, he enters every atom, and then the activity starts in the material creation. Without his presence, nothing can happen. No activity can take place. So he's not equal to God or equal to demigods of this material world. He is transcendental, he is beyond. Even Sripad Shankaracharya, the leader of the impersonalists, maintains that Narayan or Krishna is beyond this material creation. Narayana Paro Avyaktat, he said. He's para, he's beyond that. However, foolish people worship the demigods because they want immediate results. They get the results, but do not know that results so obtained are temporary and are meant for less intelligent persons. And the scene is that in Kali Yuga, because this is Kali Yuga, na? So there is more crowd in temples of Devi Devta than in the temple of Krishna. If we go to South India, the beautiful place called Kanchipuram. Beautiful place. So many temples are there. And in the same complex of temples, there is the deity of, and again, very, very beautiful, opulent deity of Varadaraj, Lord Varadaraj, who's Krishna or Vishnu himself. And in the same complex, there are temples of for Lord Shiva also and other Devi Devta also. Now, the funny thing is, this is where the lack of knowledge is. Varadaraj, his name is Varad Raj. He's a best of the giver of benedictions. Varad means benedictions. Raj means he can give the best of benedictions. His temple is empty. Only Vaishnavas go there. But Lord Shiva's temple, completely packed. And he is Varadaraj. But still, people, because they don't know, they don't go there. And also, the thing about Krishna, Lord Vishnu, is they don't give even material benediction. They don't give what we want. They give what we need. Huge difference. But people don't have this much of patience. No. We want this and we should be given this. Even demigods don't give exactly what we want. They give what actually our karmas can guide us to. They cannot just give. If somebody wants to become president of the United States and he worships Lord Shiva, he's going to become, no. If it's not in his karma, he will not become the president of the United States. But we think we get whatever we want. But Krishna or Lord Vishnu gives what we need. What we need for our bhakti, whatever we need to perform our bhakti properly, that's what he's going to do. Because they know what's the best for us. It's just like father of a child knows what the child needs. They're only going to give him whatever he needs. Maybe a person outside might give what we want, but he might take advantage of us. So huge difference. And that's why people in general, they don't go to Krishna or Vishnu. They're like Varadaraj temple. Of course, there's huge lines in Tirupati Balaji temple. That's also Krishna. But there people go because some obviously go because of bhakti, some go to ask for material benedictions. So Kanchipuram is next to Chennai, but from Chennai they'll go all the way to Tirupati, but not go to Kanchipuram. Varadaraj is there. This is ignorance. The intelligent person is in Krishna consciousness, and he has no need to worship the paltry demigods for some immediate temporary benefit. So no need to worship the demigods, and proper use of words. Paltry demigods means very insignificant demigods. Insignificant in front of Krishna, yes, but for us they are They are at least venerable. We should respect them. The demigods of this material world, as well as their worshippers, will vanish with the annihilation of this material world. And not just even annihilation of the material world. Demigods will leave this position 14 times in 12 hours of Brahmaji. The boons of the demigods are material and temporary. Both the material worlds and their inhabitants, including the demigods and their worshippers, are bubbles in cosmic ocean. Just like bubbles. How long the bubble can last? Not for too long. In this world, however, human society is mad after temporary things such as the material opulence of possessing land, family, enjoyable paraphernalia. To achieve such temporary things, people worship the demigods or powerful men in human society. And this is what is going on. If a man gets some ministership in the government by worshipping a political leader, he considers that he has achieved a great boon. And so much of politics and leg pulling, backbiting, or this and dealing, that dealing goes on to get what? To get some big political position. And after getting that, then what? We wasted so much time in getting that political position. And it's a funny speech by our minister, Nitin Gadkari. I'll forward it. It actually makes very much sense in spiritual terms also. He is speaking materially. He was saying nobody is happy. Nobody. Everybody has problem. Nobody is happy. He said, people who contest, first who contest elections, those who didn't get ticket to contest from that particular party, they are not happy. Then they can contest elections. If they get elected, great. If they don't get elected, again, they are not happy. Now they get elected, they are MLAs. If they don't become minister, they are not happy. Now, if they become minister, they don't get their what portfolio they wanted, they're not happy. And even if they get the portfolios they wanted, they didn't become chief minister, so they are not happy. And if they become chief minister, they don't become prime minister, still they are not happy. So where is the question of happiness? Everybody is just worried. Everybody is sad and depressed because of the desires, actually. And these desires take us to demigod worshipping, or worship of some political leader, or worship of some big business tycoon, and this and that. Still, it's not gonna make us happy. We might get material opulence. I'm not denying that. We might get that. But that is also according to our karma. Is it going to make us happy? That's a major question. If a man gets some ministership in the government by worshipping a political leader, he considers that he has achieved a great boon. All of them are therefore kowtowing to the so-called leaders of big guns. Prabhupada used this word, kowtowing. It's a very old slang. Kowtowing means to, in modern definition, buttering. Means to some buttering. An act of excessively subservient manner. Or in Chinese terms, it is kneel and touch the ground with the forehead in worship or submission as part of Chinese custom. So, of course, we do that for spiritual people, sadhus, but people kowtow for political or business people so that I can get some material benefit. So all of them are therefore kowtowing to the so-called leaders of big guns in order to achieve temporary booms. And they indeed achieve such things. Such foolish men are not interested in Krishna consciousness for the permanent solution to the hardships of material existence. So they want to remain in material world. They want to just go through all kinds of sufferings and hardships, but they don't want to get out. This is a situation of 99.99% of population. They're all after sense enjoyment. And to get a little facility for sense enjoyment, they are attracted to worship empowered living entities known as demigods, just to get some sense enjoyment. And another thing is they're attracted to worship empowered living entities. So this act of worship or the tapasya, austerities, it could be huge. Hiranyakashipu, we saw how wonderful and how great, how severe austerities he went through. 100 years, 100 celestial years. And he enjoyed for how long? 5 celestial years only. Only 5. And that too not complete enjoyment. Because he was always, as Prahlad Maharaj said, Udvigna, you always disturbed. He was disturbed. First, afraid of Vishnu. Second, not happy with his little son Prahlad. So what was the achievement? Hardly anything. But people are mad after this sense of enjoyment. This verse indicates that people are rarely interested in Krishna consciousness. They are mostly interested in material enjoyment, and therefore they worship some powerful living entity. And this is also the reason Vedvyasi, when he was compiling the Vedas, he wrote most of the Vedas, like it is said 96% of Vedic literature is towards Karmakanda. Because this is what people want. But why would Vedvyasi write what people want? Because idea is at least follow Karmakanda, at least follow this spiritual, so you understand there is some higher person. Then 3% is about Jnanakand. So understand, knowledge, come to the knowledge. 1% hardly is about Upasana Kand or Bhakti. So most people will follow Karma Kand, but the idea is for their gradual development. And but here, Prabhupada, the people are mad after such a joy. And they can do anything. And so much of cheating goes on. So much of cheating. By hook or crook, just make a buck. That's a slogan. That's a motto. But people don't understand that even if I cheat somebody, make some money, get some money out of him, whatever enjoyment is in my karma, I'll get that only, firstly. And then secondly, I'm adding more bad karma in my account. And Bhagavatam goes into that. If somebody cheats a Brahman, a devotee or a Brahman, then he has to pay, he has to stay in hell for, what was it said, for that many drops of tears that the Brahman and his family has given out. That many lives one has to stay in hell because you cheated that Brahman. So Brahman or devotee might just cry. He won't take revenge. He'll not do any politics against you. But people don't understand. And even if it's not a Brahman, if it is the equal person, Vaishya, suppose he cheated some other person, The money, it's on every account is kept in Chitragupta's records, and whatever money we have cheated out of it, we have to pay it back with interest. They have their own way of calculating interest also. It's not like I cheat somebody of 100 rupees and next life could be 50 years later, I'll just pay back 100. No, no. Interest has to be paid. This is law. This is in Manu Samhita. So people think, oh, I cheated, I didn't get caught, court did not punish me, cannot get money out of me. I enjoy. I'm okay. See, I'm a pious person. Nothing happened to me. Well, the resultant action, the reaction, will not happen according to our wish and desire. It's whenever Yamraji thinks it's the right time. But then also what we think, or okay, I cheated somebody of 100 rupees. Of course, 100 rupees, nobody cheats nowadays. Go into lakhs and crores. So I cheated somebody of lakhs of rupees and I go to temple and I give some donation of 100 rupees or 1,000 rupees and that's all nullified. No, it doesn't get nullified. Whatever bad karma we have done, we have to suffer for that. Whatever good karma we do, pious activity, we get the enjoyment. Simple as that. It doesn't get nullified. Because we are not the ones writing the laws. We are not the ones writing the scriptures. We have to follow the scriptures. So I guess I can stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments? I'm sorry, somehow Bhagavad Gita, we're only covering 2 or 3 shlokas per sitting.
But you are explaining very nicely, Prabhuji.
Yeah, that's why I'm taking my time, going slowly.
Oh, it's really nice.
And Prabhupada's purports are amazing, especially
Yes,
in Bhagavad
Prabhuji.
Gita. He really spent time in writing these purports.
Nice class, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, this example of you gave that Sai Baba. This example of Sai Baba, how do we understand between him and Guru Nanak Ji? Both were sons, right? Both are not Bhagwan. Both are sons. How do we see these both from a? What is the distinction between? How to draw a line?
Followers of Guru Nanak never say Guru Nanak is God. Guru Nanak Dev is God. They don't say, they say Guru, he's Guru. He's shown us the path to God. So they worship him, they respect him in that way. But the followers of Sai Baba, first of all, he did not give any so-called instructions like Guru Nanak Dev at least gave Guru Granth Sahib.
Yeah, he gave Granth. Yeah.
Sai Baba didn't. Sai Baba just, okay, he was a yogi, he committed some miracles, great. Some yogic powers. That doesn't make him God.
Right.
Huge difference.
So it's a mistake of a people who have made him Bhagwan, or he himself said that I'm a Bhagwan.
Yeah, he never said true, but people, no, they make him and they worship him like that. So what is going to happen to them in the end?
Same thing lies when people do puja of Sachin Tendulkar. No?
Yeah, sports, movie personalities. There are temples of some movie personalities also. What is this? This is nonsense.
Yeah, what? Yeah, got it. Yes.
Political leaders, they are temples of political leaders. Come on. In fact, it's just a matter of we have to preach. People are in ignorance. Great, fine, I understand. We have
Mhm.
to preach. We have to spread
Yeah,
the
it's-
right.
Ignorance
Just
is a
like
problem. Yeah.
just like Ashok Variku Prabhu.
Mhm.
First time when he went to Jagannath Puri with us, Mataji was already chanting. Ashok Variku Prabhu was follower of Sai Baba.
Ah. Yeah, right. He used to
And-
follow Sai
and-
Baba. That's right.
And he did tell me, I'm not going to chant Hare Krishna. I said, whatever you're following, follow. I'm not stopping. You will chant one round of Hare Krishna. That's all.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And
That's a
now look at
transformation.
him.
Yeah.
Slowly,
Yeah, yeah.
now he taken initiation also. He does so much.
Mm. Yeah, he become a pure Vaishnava.
It's like, yeah, people
Mm.
don't have knowledge, but we have to preach. This is where preachers come.
Mm.
We have to give the right knowledge. But without offending them, without disturbing them. That's also crucial.
True. True, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you all. You
Thank
all
you,
are
Prabhuji. Hare
safe.
Krishna,
Wonderful.
Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Prabhupada.